Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to please click subscribe if you enjoy these videos. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers and it means the world to me. Much appreciated. And today we're going to be talking about the card Invasion of Mercadia from March of the Machine, and for 1 colorless and 1 red, it's a battle siege with 4 defense counters, and when Invasion of Mercadia enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. And on the other side, it's Chiron Flamewright, a 3/3 creature goblin spell shaper with 2 colorless and 1 red, tap, discard a card, create 2 1/1 blue and red elemental creature tokens. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. So this is a really good battle for only 2 mana, and the reason I wanted to make a video about this specific one, even though it seems a little bit innocuous, is just because of how good the front side is. So far, most of the battles we've seen have all had really good front sides, and this one is no exception. It's basically another take of one of these classic red cards at this point, which are discard 1 to draw 2. We just had an upgrade over the classic kind of tormenting voice effect in the Brothers War with Bitter Reunion, which was much better by virtue of being an enchantment that stuck around and could give your creatures haste for 1 extra mana. That was already better than most of the previous effects of this type we have, just because of this sheer versatility and all the nice possibilities offered by giving your creatures haste. But this feels like it's up there as well, because this one comes with some different upside. You basically get the same effect on the front side, which is great, and it also comes with all the usual caveats about battles, that we can blink them and reuse their ETB because they're on a permanent. But then also you get to just get a pretty good creature on the other side out of it. Again, it's nothing like absolutely backbreaking, but it is a pretty strongly statted creature that has a good ability that can be very good in certain decks. Unfortunately, the creature does not have haste, but that doesn't seem to be a huge issue in most red decks. Giving creatures haste is something the red is pretty good at, and once you give this haste, it's actually very solid. You can just discard a card that you don't need and get 2 2/1s with haste out of it, and it's also going to give all your other creatures haste and +1/+0. So it can be extremely good in a go wide strategy in deck. In any kind of goblin deck or deck that's interested in making a bunch of tokens and attacking, this can be really solid. I see this as being great in Boros in particular, because Boros needs card advantage more than most other combinations, and then it's also going to provide something that Boros wants, which is a buff to your team. I also really like it in Madness decks, of course. This is great because it gives you a nice way to discard the cards for value, and if you Madness out a creature with this, you can then immediately give it haste, which is a really nice little combo to have there. So it's doing multiple different things, and it's very flexible. On the front side, it's a good card draw effect for just 2 mana, and on the other side, you get to either give your creatures haste when you need to, or you get to provide more attackers for your death triggers. It also works really well in any Sacrifice or Aristocrats deck, by the way. And then you also just get to buff your team. This is really doing quite a lot of stuff for 2 mana, and it's just a huge upgrade on the classic Cathartic Reunion style effect. So even though this is not the most flashy card, it's not the most exciting, I think this is going to see a ton of play in all sorts of red decks, and basically in any deck that was running those effects before that wasn't interested in Spellslinger synergies, then this is just much better, because having it on an enchantment doesn't really matter if you're not taking advantage of the instants and sorceries, and it just does so much more than your average effect of this type. I really like it, and I think we're going to be seeing it in a lot of red decks in the near future. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!